Hey everyone, how's it going? I am Mark from Forge and Flow, and I am also your Qigong guide. Today, we're going to talk about something very simple, and that is simplicity. Simplicity is a concept that seemingly has been lost in a lot of ways. But also, was it ever really there? Well, maybe ancient times past, but even thousands of years ago, things had already become overly complicated. Now, when we look back at ancient Daoist texts, such as the Dao De Jing, that we talk a lot about on this channel, we look at chapter number 53, where it states in some translations, the great way is low and plain, but people love shortcuts over the mountains. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about what that might mean, take a look at this video right here, where we do a deeper dive on that chapter 53 in the Jammin' on the Tao series. But getting back to this concept of simplicity, we're talking thousands of years ago that book was written and compiled, and it was already talking about the fact that things should be nice and easy, the great way, low and plain, but people still have a tendency to overcomplicate things. That essentially takes away from the harmonious way of existing with the natural living world. And it keeps us in a state of constant stress, constant anxiety to a chronic level. And that has all sorts of implications on our well-being and our vitality or lack thereof. On a mental level, the stress and anxiety cause all sorts of problems with the way we think, the way we see, the way we act, how our emotions take place and work. And from the physiological level, we have all sorts of problems that can arise from the rising stresses in our bodies, from blood pressure issues, respiration issues, heart issues, bone issues, and connective tissue issues, and all sorts of things with digestion and the way our entire body functions or dysfunctions in this society that keeps us locked into these stressful, overly anxious, and overly complicated situations. But when we dial that back, even taking a few moments in a day to ourselves to calm down, to get back into a state of the parasympathetic nervous system, that relaxation response, versus constantly being in that stress response or the sympathetic nervous system. Now, I just want to be clear, both parts of the nervous system are essential. They are innately built into us, and it's really crucial to have the awareness that both exist, but to have that balance, that harmony between the two, so that we can respond appropriately in certain situations. And knowing that context of whatever the situation is around us is key to being able to respond properly. But if our nervous system is all sorts of out of whack, or one extreme or the other, we may be more overreactionary or just unable to understand the situation and respond appropriately. Thankfully, Qigong exists. And in Qigong, we use gentle motions, but they can also be very powerful. Powerful for the body, powerful for the mind, powerful for our energy. And reducing the anxiety, reducing the stress can help us be more harmonious with ourselves, with everyone and everything around us. So how do we do that? I'm going to take you through a little bit of a practice here and show you that even the simplest things that we do in this practice can have such profound effects. What I love about Qigong is that it's for everybody. It's so accessible because it's so easy, in quotes, to do. Sometimes there are more difficult, challenging stances and postures and forms, but there are so many easy things to do that can be done from anywhere. So we're gonna go through a little bit of a practice. Stay tuned, and we'll do some very simple but amazingly profound relaxation exercises. Okay, welcome to the practice. Like I said, we're going to do some very simple exercises. Some of them will be just breathing. Some of them will be some gentle movement. Take it step by step, just going to do a few of them, and you'll see that even with some of the easiest ones, you should start feeling more relaxed. And you can take these further and you can learn more, and you can check out other videos on the channel and see that you don't need to do a lot. You don't need to spend a lot of time on this. You don't need to learn a bunch. There's so much out there that you can follow, and hopefully you would like to follow more of these here. So the first thing we're going to do is bow in, and that bow is just a way of engaging our body and our mind to be centered and here in the present moment, and saying we are ready to do a practice. It's also a bow of gratitude for ourselves, for taking the time and making the time to practice some relaxation techniques, and also gratitude towards each other, everyone out there in the world who's practicing mindfulness and wellness practices at the moment, as well as all of those before us who have brought this knowledge to us. So we take a nice big bow in by raising our hands up with a nice big inhale, and centering down into a gentle bow. Thank you for being here. And press down and relax. So like I said, one of the easiest things to do is having an awareness of the breath. That thing that is always happening in and out, inhale, exhale, all day, every day, while we're awake, while we're asleep. We can actively engage in, and when we do that, we can immediately start putting up barriers to the external world, all the distractions and all of those things that keep us locked in this stress response. So when we have that focused awareness on our breath, we are looking inward, finding that sense of calm at the center. Okay, so let's get into a nice relaxed position by opening up the feet to about shoulder width apart. Feet as parallel as is comfortable. And let's just adjust our posture real quick by sinking into the knees, getting a nice relaxed but stable stance. Hips are slightly tilted forward, spine is erect, chest is open, shoulders dropping and relaxing, arms by the side, fingers relaxed, chin slightly tucked in and back to help elongate the cervical spine in the back of the neck. And feel that nice posture of alignment. Even that right there, focusing on the posture, can really help us dial back into ourselves. Just standing in a nice, strong but relaxed stance, closing the eyes, and feeling the body, feeling the feet rooting down into the floor, everything from the waist down getting heavier, like roots going into the floor, everything from the waist up getting lighter and lighter, like the tree extending its branches into the sky towards the light. Feel nice and rooted below, expansive and open above. And just take a moment to feel that posture. Feel how you're holding your body in a very intentional way, very aligned way. So we're not even really doing anything yet, and already going more inward. And when we start adding the breath and some other motions to it, you'll see how that calmness expands, fills us up, and we start to cultivate that energy within us and around us for more vitality, more of an ability to feel ourselves, to be in touch with ourselves, our emotions, our thoughts, less scattered, more focused. So again, just taking a moment to drift in this stance. We call this the high horse stance. With the feet about shoulder width apart, slightly sinking down into the knees. And now we're going to start doing some very simple breathing. The first is called the conscious breath. All that means is bringing a conscious awareness to the breath. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. We can deepen and elongate the breath, a little bit more of a focused control on the breath. But ultimately, all we're doing is inhaling and exhaling. We don't have to do anything else right now. So by deepening the breath, we will fill up the body a little bit more and deplete the body a little bit more. We're going to start with the exhale. We're going to start with releasing, getting old, stale, stagnant air and energy, qi, out of the body. And then when we breathe in deeply, invigorate and fill everything back up. So take a nice big exhale, as big as you can. Let everything out until you feel like there's no more air left within you. And then when you're ready and when you feel like you need to, nice big inhale in. The exhale can be either out of the mouth or out of the nose, your choice. Inhale through the nose. Okay, so nice big exhale. Get it all out. Keep going out. Get everything out. Big inhale in. And then big breath out again. Really long, extended breaths. Big inhale in. Very consciously aware of the breathing. Feeling that breath connecting to the body. Inhaling, expanding. Exhaling, contracting. One more nice big inhale, not having to do anything with the body or the arms. Inhale. Long, slow, and deep. And exhale. And resume normal breathing. Conscious breathing. All that means, bringing the awareness to the breath. Doesn't really get more simple than that, right? Conscious breathing. Let's do a few more of those. This is what we call a two-part breath. Just one inhale, one exhale. Okay, let's do another big exhale out. Get it all out. Breathe in when you need to. Feel the body expand and fill up. And release. One more big inhale in. And exhale. So hopefully already you're beginning to feel more calm, more relaxed, more grounded, more connected to yourself. So now we can add some very simple motions to this. This one's called flowing motion, because really all you're doing is flowing the arms up and down. So with this, you want to be very light with the wrists. The wrists are nice and loose, and we want to come up to about chest height, maybe shoulder height, no higher. We're not going up to the head or above. We're just coming up to about the shoulder height and then back down to the hips. We want the fingers relaxed, fingers are open. Remembering that stance, nice and stable. Relax the knees, spine straight. And we're going to pair that conscious breathing with this motion. So when we lift the arms up, we're going to inhale. And when we bring the arms down is an exhale. So again, let's start with the exhale. Keep the hands down. And we're going to start with the exhale. Get all that old air out. And when you are ready to inhale, very slowly raising the arms up with a nice big inhale. Slow and deep and long as you can. Don't force yourself to go longer than is comfortable. We can start at maybe 4 or 5 seconds and then begin to elongate those breaths to 6, 7, 8 seconds. But find your comfort zone. Don't get to a point where you feel uncomfortable at all, but we want to try to make these breaths as long as we can. Okay, so nice big exhale. And then inhale, rising the hands up to about shoulder height. And exhale, back down. So let's do a 5 count here. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now on your own, inhale and exhale when you're ready. Close your eyes. Remember your posture. Feel the feet on the ground. Relax the knees. Back straight. Chin slightly down into the back. Fingers relaxed. Wrists are soft. Elbows are slightly rounded. Breath is long, slow, and deep. LSD breathing. Long, slow, and deep. Keep going at your own pace. Conscious breathing with the flowing motion. Very simple, very effective. And let's just do a couple more. Nice and slow and steady. And back to center. How's that feeling? Getting relaxed and grounded. Another very simple technique is what we call washing down, shou qi in Chinese, which is literally meaning gathering or collecting or consolidating the energy. So when we do these energy cultivation practices, we're working with the energy within us and around us. And that energy can sometimes start doing some interesting things. So what we want to do is gather and collect it. And a very simple way to do that is to just rise the hands up like we were doing with the bow in the beginning of the class. Nice big inhale. And instead of bringing the hands together like the bow, we just bring them pressing down through the center, a few inches away from the body with the exhale. So it's like we're taking everything around us, gathering it up with an inhale, and then pouring it over, washing down, smoothing everything out, consolidating all of the energy around us, bringing it into our central channel. Inhale up. Exhale down. This is also referred to as harmonizing. Inhale up. Exhale down. This is a great practice to do in between exercises, but it's also great to do just by itself. There's a common technique to do it 3 times after an exercise, but you can do this for 3 minutes. Nice and slow and steady. There's no real right or wrong way to do things. The only thing is we want to focus on being relaxed. We want to focus on the breath. We want to feel everything there is to feel about ourselves, our body, our breath, our our emotions, our consciousness, our spirit, the earth below us, the cosmos above us, everything around us. But not being distracted by things, not feeling scattered, just feeling nice and focused and relaxed. Let's do one more. Nice big inhale. And exhale. Now another variation of the flowing motion, or even the washing down, is called the wave. And what we do, it's a little bit of a bigger motion, and it involves a bend. Now, if you have any back problems, knee problems, just do the best you can. There's no competition here of how low you can go, if you can touch the floor or not. Stay in your comfort zone, always. But we do want to engage the core muscles, the back muscles, by bending a little bit deeper. But what we do is inhale all the way up, hands coming up above, and then folding down at the waist with a nice big exhale, low as is comfortable, and then rising back up, one vertebrae at a time, neck coming up last, hands close to the body. This is a big inhale, and then the fold is a big exhale. Rising up, inhaling. And exhale. And rise up, inhale. Fold down, exhale. And come back up. We're going to fold down one more time. This time, when we come back up, we're going to reverse the motion, so outwards, hands coming out and up with the inhale, and hands coming down close to the body with the exhale, sinking down as low as you can go. You don't even really need to go that low. Just get a nice little bend. Because this is called the wave, we want to add a little bit of a wave-like motion to this. Not just straight up and down, but when we come up, slight bend back and forward, adding a little bit of a wave into our spine. Come up, slight bend back, forward again, adding a very slight wave-like motion into the back. Remember the breath, the conscious breathing in and out. And in and out. Let's do one more. Coming back up. And not going all the way down, just coming back down to the center. We're going to do one more motion here, spine bending, we call front and back bending. What we're going to do is engage the back, upper back muscles and the chest muscles. So we're going to inhale as we go back, and what we're doing here is slightly bending back, not really bending too deep, but slight bend back and squeezing the shoulder blades, the upper back muscles together, and then we go forward. Compress everything, bringing the arms together, compressing the front of the body. We inhale, open, exhale, close. Inhale, open, exhale, and close. Inhale, open, so we're opening the chest, squeezing the back. When we exhale, squeezing the chest and separating the shoulder blades. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Let's do 2 more at your own pace. And come back to center, relax. And let's do that washing down method, gathering up. Let's do this 3 times here. Exhale, pressing down. Second time, big breath in. Pressing down, breath out. Last one, breath in. And breath out. And we'll bring our feet together to bow out of this class like we bowed in the beginning. Nice big inhale, hands above, into prayer hands, down through the chest, and a gentle bow. Thank you so much. And hopefully you can now see that there are some very simple practices you can do, bringing things back to the basics. Breathing, very gently moving, and feeling that sense of calm, relaxation coming over you. I think one of our pups felt that. You feel a little bit relaxed? It looks like you want to get out of the room, huh? Thank you so much. See you next time. If you like this, please hit that like button and subscribe for more Qigong flows to come out, as well as checking out some more of the stuff we have on the channel, like the Jamming on the Dao series, where we talk about the philosophies of Daoism, as well as other techniques to find relaxation and to get our bodies into a greater state of vitality.